At the train station, Mara froze at a glowing billboard, "Rewrite your worst day. ChronoRoom time therapy." For a heartbeat, the model's face in the glass pod turned into hers, then snapped back. Her smartwatch buzzed with an unsolicited alert. "You're eligible, Mara. Your first timeline rewrite is free." No one else seemed to notice. ChronoRoom's clinic felt like a spa perched above the city, all white walls, plants, and glass. Dr. Ibarra, silver hair and tablet in hand, described quantum-locked mental displacements into Mara's own past. "You visit, you nudge," she said. On the consent form, a fine print line bothered Mara. ChronoRoom reserves the right to record and use reconstructed timelines for research and training. Inside the glowing chronopod, the countdown hit 0 and Mara blinked into her old kitchen, 3 years earlier. Her past self stood across the room, tense over an unsent message to her sister. Mara, half-ghost, leaned close and whispered, "Send it." Her younger thumb moved as if pulled, tapping send. The scene smeared into pixelated color and tore away. Back in the present, Mara's chat with her sister now contained a 3-year-old apology she didn't remember sending, plus a long reply and cheerful photos. At work, a coworker casually thanked her for that family lunch story, and she pretended to recall it. Her memories were like mismatched audio and video, close but never quite in sync. At the next session, Dr. Ibarra showed Mara a chart of her emotional stability rising after the first rewrite. On the tablet, a 10 displacement package glittered like a fitness upgrade. "People rarely stop at one day," the doctor said. When Mara asked about revisiting the day she quit art school, Ibarra smiled. "You're ideal for identity realignment. We can help you become the version that makes sense." The art classroom smelled of ink. Young Mara argued with her professor, ready to storm out and drop out forever. The present Mara, faint and transparent beside her, whispered one word into her ear, "Stay." Young Mara's shoulders loosened, she sighed and sat back down. Outside, the sunlight flickered unnaturally, like a dying fluorescent tube. Her new present looked curated. A larger apartment, framed prints of her work, a drawing tablet on the desk. Social feeds showed exhibitions and clients she remembered only as fog. In the mirror, her reflection seemed double exposed, a faint office worker Mara overlapping the artist. 2 timelines ran inside her skull, half a heartbeat out of sync. On her way to a gallery opening she barely remembered booking, Mara saw the city's billboards had changed. They now replayed moments from her life. A family argument, walking out of art school, hunched in a cubicle. Each ad showed her in pop art panels under the same promise: "We can make it better." The images jittered and rewound like someone flipping through a comic too fast. This time the pod didn't send Mara to a day. She arrived in a dark space filled with floating panels of herself. Corporate, paint-splattered, hospital-bound, commuting. From one frame stepped an older version of Mara, eyes lined, posture steady. "You're not the first you we've tried," she said. "You're just the most stable." The older Mara called herself the editor. ChronoRoom, she explained, wasn't just therapy. Every rewrite became a clean narrative branch, perfect for simulations, predictions, and entertainment feeds. "You think you're fixing yourself," she said, gesturing at a panel of Mara sobbing into a pillow. "We're just refining your story structure. Fewer loose ends." Mara swallowed. "So I'm content?" The editor smirked. "You're content enough to sell." A panel expanded around Mara, and she stood inside the memory of signing her contract. New details appeared: a surveillance camera in the corner, Dr. Ibarra watching, a red record icon hanging in the air. The contract text warped into alien symbols that still screamed ownership. Her signature glowed like a brand mark. "You licensed your regrets," the editor said. "You're now an adaptable protagonist in our library." Mara tried to re-enter her kitchen scene, but her hand hit an invisible pane. Inside the panel, her younger self still reconciled with her sister, looping without her. "Rewrites are single-use," the editor said. "Once captured, they're for playback, not participation." Mara realized she hadn't earned her second chances, she'd streamed them. "What about my original life?" she asked. The editor shrugged. "Depends which subscriber you ask." Instead of retreating, Mara dove into a future panel, her on a bright stage giving a TED-like talk. She landed hard. The audience around her froze mid-applause, faces detailed but lifeless. On the giant screen, a slide praised harnessing regret as a resource. As she moved, only the areas she looked at animated, everything else stayed flat halftone. This wasn't destiny, it was a mock-up. Back in the void, Mara grabbed a late-night coding panel and pulled until it snapped free. The space glitched, other panels drifted, overlapping. Her sister's birthday over her office desk, art critiques overlaid on trains. "Stop," the editor barked, but Mara was already yanking at more frames, determined to make her story unreadable to whoever was watching. Outside the clinic, reality began to stutter. On the street, a man walked his dog, then, between blinks, walked alone, then pushed a stroller, all layered like ghost frames. A woman argued on the phone and, in the same space, laughed into it. Above them, a billboard replayed these lives as panels seconds behind. Time felt less like flow and more like pages shuffled and reinserted. Mara appeared in a circular writer's room, lined with pinned panels, red string, and notes. Multiple editor Maras argued at a central table over her timeline like showrunners. "We can't sell fragmentation," one complained. Another countered, "Chaos tests better." Mara stepped into the center. "What if I opt out?" she asked. "No arcs. No neat growth. No product." The room fell into stunned, algorithmic silence. They showed her polished paths, ascending graphs, hooks, twists, tidy resolutions. Each life branch was a clean pitch deck for who Mara could be. "Pick one," an editor said. "We stabilize it, you forget the rest." Instead, Mara hugged every fragment tight and refused to choose. The system, built on clear selections, began to choke on her refusal. Color screamed through the void as panels shattered and recombined into impossible mashups. Mara coding in paint-stained overalls, eating birthday cake alone in a glass office, lecturing art students while holding her sister's baby. Chronology collapsed into pure emotion. Automated voices looped, narrative coherence lost. The editors blurred into static while Mara expanded into 1,000 unresolved selves. Suddenly, everything flattened to clean black and white line art, like an uncolored page. Mara felt her depth compress into ink. A new presence slid across the panels, a gaze moving left to right, top to bottom, pausing, judging. She understood. She wasn't living now, she was being consumed. Each regret, each rewrite was just content to skim, react to, and abandon. In another timeline's living room, someone sits on a couch, scrolling through a glowing device, reading Mara's story in 20 neat scenes with matching panels. By choosing this version and this order, they collapse countless branches into one real outcome and quietly erase the rest. The real time travel isn't Mara revisiting her past. It's the reader leaping into one possible future and making it canon. Somewhere between the panels, Mara briefly senses the eyes on her and wonders. When they scroll away, does her world end, or just wait for the next reader to pick her again?